Hello, welcome to the Scalect Civil War. Uh, I guess sub-arc 2, because technically you guys are reaching near the end of the arc.
Okay.
You guys had a sort of secret meeting with Navera and kind of discussed what to do moving forward because of her distrust.
Basically, Navarra, to give an actual recap, Navarra doesn't necessarily trust her brother due to recent events and just overall general with the rebellion. And so she confided with the party who has been under their employ, or, well, Rakan's employ since the very beginning. And the general consensus that the party has gotten to is that Rakan isn't fit for the throne. And Itchi basically put her hat in to be the one on the throne. And also, reforms of council, blah, 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 stuff like that. But Seviroth was not there during the time. Well, he was there in character, but not in spirit. But the general consensus is the party is in agreement with Navera that Rakan shouldn't be king. And
Alencia
overall,
never gave her opinion.
because you stormed out.
Yeah, Alencia doesn't know the plan at the moment, but I'm sure Byron will relay it to you.
Relay what exactly?
Stopping Rakond, essentially.
Yeah, basically the whole reason Navera wanted this secret meeting of sorts was the fact that she has doubts of her brother, and the party, for the most part that were there, are in agreement with such.
I mean, I already said my piece last time. I don't know what you mean.
I
wasn't
think
there.
it was more so for the secondary part of she threw her bid. She wants to be a empress. I don't know.
It would be Empress.
Yeah. Which you weren't there in spirit, but in character were.
Basically, we talked about different kinds of forms of
Government.
like council, for example, that like most people that were here last time were in agreement that a council would be probably the best idea, with having like the ideas of like laws and stuff go through the council, and then each added the bit that it would be of advantage if she would basically be the head of the council, so the government still runs in her family, and which was like basically her family's like authority to begin with, which is her goal kind of. And then we talked about that like laws would go through the council and then get acceptance by Itchi, for example, or if Itchi wanted to change some things, it has to run through the council and stuff like that. We talked about, yeah.
The idea with Itchi's family, or Itchi herself, taking the head, is to give legitimacy.
Exactly. So
But
it's
I think I can't remember if this was a conversation after session or if it was during session, but I think Itchi was very adamant about wanting to be not a figurehead, but actually in charge. But have
That
like,
was
a
in
parliament.
session.
Yeah, but basically have a parliament, stuff like that.
Yes.
Well, it makes sense that Byron and Alencia weren't there for that part because I would have wholeheartedly disagreed with that idea, the opinion. That's okay. I wasn't. I was dealing with. I had important things to deal with. So, what you choose to tell Byron is up to you. He made his peace that he doesn't have any reason per se to distrust Rakan since he's just kind of a hired hand and he's already invested a lot in this. What happens after the fact is not really in his power to control. So that was his stance. He's a merc. There's nothing really. At this point he's a merc. So there's not really any reason for him to deal in the politics.
I don't think necessarily you can really be called a merc at this point. You are a full-blown member of the rebellion.
Once the rebellion's over, I've got no occupation, so I'm basically a merc.
A merc with diplomatic experience.
If you can call it that, I guess.
Well,
diplomacy
Or
and
be-
choosing not to just shoot someone are kind of just different things, I guess.
pacifist. I'm a hired gun, but I don't kill.
I kill when it's necessary, but if there's a way to not have to pull the trigger, I mean, that was what our
Beneficial.
original. Yeah, that was what our original ideology mostly was.
Yeah, and so far it's been pretty true to that. Where's Rakan? Where you are? What level are you? Interesting. Yeah. Well, okay, I can't make specific decisions for this character, but I'm forced to make decisions for this character. Because no matter what, I asked him about that decision. The other one I did not, so this is going to be interesting. Well, with all that essentially concluded, reason I don't want Rakan in power is he seems more like this is exactly what she was talking about. She views Rakan more like the previous ruler, Rakan, Urian. And because he is a son of Rakan, or son of Urian, despite saying that he's not going to be just like him, still has traits like his father. And she doesn't believe it belongs to them anyways. Despite his claim to rightful ownership. And that it should be left to the Yuan-Ti tribes of the land rather than the an elven bloodline. Navera also Be mindful and watch yourselves on your trip when you guys finally head out to the capital. Who knows what Rakond might plan to do as he is taking the trip with you. There are armies placed in areas outside the capital, but none are within the cities, where attempting to garner a rant audience with the king to finally finish things over, exile him, put him in a lower position, something or the other. I'm not sure that killing him is a good idea. I don't think it would speak well of the rebellion if we were to kill the king rather than dethrone him. I think the people would probably turn against us if we... So, at all costs, please keep the king intact as he is dethroned and removed of power.
Oh, we weren't hired to martyr him. We were hired to dethrone him. So, preferably we do that without it too much of a hassle, or at least in a way that doesn't end up having him in a body bag.
Yes. I'll be in the city a bit after you all. Not too much for anything, but more as a representative of Lunavale and things moving forward. Lunavale is an independent, neutral town with no loyalties to any king or empire out there. But we do have allies within such neighboring kingdoms and empires. I think it would be best to keep in good graces with the Scalect Dominion, or whichever your people rename it to. It used to be called the Oros Dynasty a long time ago during Crystal Wars, and before, when it was initially founded. Perhaps going back to its roots would be a good idea. But I want to set up trade and other things with the kingdom, but I can wait for when that's finished. And okay, that's one of them. I need the other one now.
Well, there's of it.
We're going to see if cleaning the part fixes the issue with my car. If not, then we get to replace it, and that's fine.
Why do I forget name? It has been so long. And I know I have her. Because I have her fucking bodyguard. She's gotta be in here. Oh, wait. Because her name doesn't start with an M. I'm retarded. Itshi. Secondary thing.
Yes.
My, I guess, aunt is visiting. She specializes in certain magics and has been dabbling in the dream, I've heard. Perhaps she could be of use.
Certainly.
You'll find her in the courtyard.
Listen. Thank you. Hopefully, with her help, maybe we can finally figure out what is ailing my father, which keeps him in a coma.
Be careful. The dream aspects within nightmares and beings that like to mess with the mind or hold one's mind prison generally uses the dream to do such.
Well, then I will speak with her when we have time. For the most part, I believe this conversation is over.
Yep.
Soon, Byron, you will go talk to Alencia and explain this, I suppose.
Yeah.
Best of luck. And, send me a message if anything goes wrong or something of the other. I will do my best to make it to you as fast as possible.
I'll do just that.
Hmm.
Just the game was paused. I can't move my token.
It wasn't paused for me.
Now it's not.
I am so
Even
sorry.
though now it still won't let me move my token.
The door is closed.
Well, I move in any direction.
You're not in
I can.
you're not logged
Oh,
in.
did you not refresh?
Oh,
Yeah, you have to refresh.
You may have to refresh, yeah.
All right, it's fine. Just move me to the side of the door, out of her way, out of Itchi's way.
Alright. Big door. It's a good thing it's a big door.
I mean, they're only technically large size. Most of that size is length, not
No, I am
Width.
large.
in length, not width.
No, it's
It's
width now.
It's a little both. You are
So you admit
fairly
your character
large
fat.
My character is not fat. They are just
and long.
they're adequate.
Ladies, you're
They-
both pretty.
They're appropriate size. Their figure has not changed. It's just mass. It scoots shelf over.
She has more meat in her tail than you
Shut
guys
back
have
up.
in your scrawny legs. I forgot about my sister's character. Oops. I moved her. Whee!
What is Conk doing over here?
His best. He's helping Lythander and
Oh.
Arthanius with holding things or picking up certain things. Or like mostly fetching stuff for them.
is the mundane. He can hold the magic thing without getting shot.
Yep.
I'm still loading in, so I'm just gonna be right back and get.
So there you go. How goes things?
I'm learning so much about the way magic here is. It's much different than how I see my magic.
Yes. I wish we could have spent more time at the school so you could have gotten a
Never mind.
formal
Seriously.
education. Not to say this isn't formal.
Something up there, out in the stars, calls. But sometimes it is silent.
You know, I feel like you've mentioned that before this.
There's a few others, though. There's a sound like... Verigo was in a lab, right?
Verigo? No, Verigo was one of
Has he ever entered one of the labs?
he was with us.
If he's
during,
entered a lab, he's gonna explain to you. It sounds like those engines from the lab. The way they
he was in the
make mechanical. He explains it sounds like the mechanical sounds from the lab, and he doesn't know what it is.
just to properly explain, he was in the laboratory. He did come with us through the laboratory.
Yeah, that's why.
Von Chandra.
That's yeah. So he. It's not that he won't be able to understand what he